Hello, I am vocal coach Debbie, and welcome to episode 3, where today we'll be doing a reaction video to the song Intruder by Peter Gabriel. These videos are designed to focus on the performance and singing choices that the artist makes so that as you go out into the world and you decide to do some singing and tell some stories with your voice, you can be thinking about how you want to do that. So we are going to use we've got 4 recordings of Intruder, all done by Peter Gabriel, to compare different interpretations that he did. And just a reminder that this is designed to be educational. I don't claim any rights to these songs or videos, and I'm sure YouTube will monetize things appropriately and pay the artist or their representatives. So just here for education. So let's first talk about the song. We're going to be looking at Intruder by Peter Gabriel, and I'm going to start with a look at when did this song come out and how can you find it in case you are interested. So this came out on Peter Gabriel's 3rd solo album, and it's confusing because his first 4 solo albums were all technically called Peter Gabriel. So people usually distinguish them by what the cover looked like. This one is called Melt. It's got kind of half of his face seeming to melt. Don't get scratched. That was number 2. This is a melting face kind of look. It came out in 1980, and if you can see what's on my screen up there, it hit number 1 in the UK and charted well in other countries as well. So some people know some of the songs of this album. Next, I want to read you the lyrics, because if we're going to talk about how a song can be performed and interpreted and tell a story, then we've got to know what that story is. I'm just going to read it to you in a fairly plain way, and you can decide for yourself what this song is about. So here are the lyrics. I know something about opening windows and doors. I know how to move quietly, creep across creaky wooden floors. I know where to find precious things in all your cupboards and drawers. Slipping the clippers through the telephone wires. The sense of isolation inspires me. I like to feel the suspense when I'm certain you know I am there. I like you lying awake, your bated breath charging the air. I like the touch and the smell of all the pretty dresses you wear. Intruders happy in the dark. Intruder come and leave his mark. Leave his mark, leave his mark. I am the intruder. So obviously I didn't read that with the right storytelling or performance. I read it like it said anything. Now we're going to talk about how would you sing it. If you don't know the song, before you hear Peter Gabriel perform it, I'm going to play you first what I think is a not good interpretation or performance of the song. This is from a live concert he did in 1987, and I'm finding all of these things on YouTube, so you can as well. Feel free to look up the original videos. I just searched for Peter Gabriel Intruder, and these all popped up. So I'm going to play a little bit of that video, and I'm curious what you notice about it, and I'll tell you what I notice about it. So if you are watching live, feel free to leave some comments. If you are watching this later, also leave some comments and I will reply to them personally. So this is from Live in Athens, 1987. I also notice the song is faster than the original, but we'll hear some of the original next. And I've fast forwarded it to 48 seconds in, around the time when he starts singing. So what do you notice right away? We've heard the first couple of lines. We see he's acting it out a little bit live, which is also another aspect of the performance. How do you hold your body, or how do you move around the stage, especially if there's a story you're trying to tell? And I think he's doing a good job with his body, because he's talking about creeping and moving, and he's doing just that versus standing in front of a microphone and singing a song. But when I hear the way he sings it, especially knowing the original, which you will become familiar with in just moments, I feel like the singing has lost the storytelling and the interpretation. We're talking about a criminal who likes breaking into a house and going through people's things and terrorizing them, really. And if you're familiar with Peter Gabriel's voice and some of his 80s hits, you might notice that this sounds kind of like the way he might sing In Your Eyes or Red Rain or Sledgehammer. It just sounds like that late 1980s Peter Gabriel that many of us love. But let me play you the original, and I want to see what you notice about that, and the storytelling, the performance, if you notice anything at all. So let's flip over to that. This is the cover of the Melt album. And so if you do go out and buy this, and I highly recommend it, great album. And again, a classic in my opinion. So let's hear what the original sounds like. And again, I fast forwarded it to almost 1 minute in to pass a lot of the early instrumental introduction to get to where he's about to start singing. Notice it's slower.
I know something about opening windows and doors. I know how to move quietly, creep across creaky wooden floors.
Okay, so we heard him do the live version. Now we're hearing the original version, and we can notice there's so many different qualities he's using in his voice to tell this story. So first of all, he's dropped the octave in the original version. It's a little low for me, but he's going, I know, instead of I know. So that gives you a different shape, color, story. We also notice that the quality of his voice, it's not a strong tone, it's not a clear tone, it's not even, it's not a falsetto or head voice tone. It's almost a whispered tone, like he's saying this to us, not so much singing it to us. He's saying, I know. Da, 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 da. It's like he's saying this to us and he's whispering it to us. It's almost a secret that only he knows. And again, you may interpret it differently. This is what I hear and how I hear the story. You may hear a different story, and all of this is correct. There's no one right way to hear a song or interpret a song, usually. Usually artists like this like to leave things up to interpretation. We read the words and we don't know what happens. Does he successfully steal things? Does he hurt anybody? Does he get caught? We don't know. And I think some of the most interesting songs that want to tell stories and bring you a character, almost like a real performance, like a stage performance. I think some of those songs, the most interesting songs, and we'll meet more of these songs throughout the episodes, don't tell you how the story ends. You don't know. He's planning something. He likes to do it. He's doing it. And we don't know how it ends. And if the song affects you and speaks to you and reaches you, then you're left wondering, what happened? How did this end? And you won't find out. So what do you notice about his singing choices? Every choice we make is an artistic choice, whether it's a choice to sing it plainly and in the higher register, as he did in that live version. I know how to creep And so that's a choice that he made. I next want to play you something interesting that Peter Gabriel did with his third and fourth solo albums was he also recorded them in German. And listen to how he delivers the same song in German, which was released, I think, a couple of months later or around the same time. Same cover album with some green writing on it. I own this one also. Go out and buy it. Yes, back when we bought CDs. So again, I've rolled this over to a minute in where he's about to start singing, and you can hear the choices he's making. Even though the language has changed, the story is pretty much the same. And from some of the reading the lyrics I've done of the German, it's not an exact translation of the original. Sometimes he's making some changes for poetry or storytelling. So interesting if we look that one up as well. And so what do we notice about that one? It's nearly the same. And it carries a lot of the similarities. Let me just open up those lyrics again so we can talk about that. Here we go. Lyrics, here we go. So he starts out saying, I know something about opening windows and doors. And the way he delivers it is in these really short pieces. Again, like it's a secret. It's, I know something about opening windows and doors. And that's the way he's singing it. But again, you can make any artistic choice you want. Maybe you're the proudest burglar in town and you want to come out and Broadway it up and go, I know something about opening windows and doors. Sure, you could do that. Is that weird? To me. Did you love it? Maybe. This is why we talk about performance and storytelling and why I'm going to be doing a series of these videos. This is the first one because I want to get people thinking about how with this type of song, singing can be so much more than did you hit the notes or did you get the words out? It's, are you telling a story? And to bring that story full circle, so we heard the 1987 Live in Athens. We heard the original English and German versions. And then there's a version Peter Gabriel did with an orchestra. This one appears to be based on an orchestral album that he put out. And this video was put up in 2013. And I think this version might be older. So he did an orchestral version with Intruder again, and I fast forwarded this 38 seconds to just before he starts singing. And so again, the first live one was 1987. This one is, I don't know, sometime around 2010, 11, 12, 13. I'm not completely sure, but give a listen to it and see what you notice. And watch him as well for that stage performance, because he was so famous for that. He still is.
Something about opening windows and doors. I know how to move quietly, to creep across creaky wooden floors. I know where to find precious things in all your cupboards and drawers. Slipping the clippers through the telephone wires.
So what do we notice here? it's really faithful to the original, whereas the Live in Athens one wasn't. It was faster, and he sang it the octave up. And here he is returning back to this song many years after it was first written and produced, and he's bringing back that storytelling. And in fact, in my opinion, and you may have heard something differently here, I felt like he presented it even more quietly, more of a whispered thing. He's really close to the microphone. He's right on top of it, and he's saying, I know. And it's so incredibly gentle and subtle. And he's acting things out on the stage as well, which I think adds to it. It's not like he dressed up in a costume for it, but he's bringing that performance to life with more than his voice. He's using his body and stage movement, different stage movement than what he did in Athens. So he's probably improvising this versus, oh, when I say this word, I'm going to make this motion, because it was different. So I want to wrap this up with just a reaction to this song as, to me, just an incredible piece of composition. So there's interesting instrumentation here. There's interesting weird sounds. There's a lot of dissonance to tell the tension in the story between good or evil, or how will this work out for this character. But truly, we're presenting a character with a perspective and a story to tell you about themselves and what they're doing and what they like to do and how they like to do it and how good they are at doing it. And it's like a miniature character study. You know, we get half of a Broadway show in 4 minutes. And I think that as you practice your singing, or even your public speaking, decide whether or not something is a character or requires a character or benefits from a character. And what is that character? What's their message? There are going to be songs we look at in the future where the character and the message match very closely. And then there's a couple of songs I can think of planned for the future where the character is maybe being sarcastic or trying to hide their true feelings by singing a sad song in a happy way. And we've seen that before when I've done some of my karaoke streams, which you can find on Saturdays, where there's songs that are super negative and depressing. And if you didn't know English, you would think this is a super fun, happy song, and it's super depressing. I can't help but think of Moonlight Shadow by Mike Oldfield, and I forgot the singer on that one. That is deceptively happy when the song is, he was shot 6 times by a man on the run. Well, great. That sounds so happy and happy-go-lucky, being shot and so on. So, but that is a performance choice that someone decided this is a song about this murder, this death, but I'm going to sing it from this perspective, from a character, from someone who's involved in this story or impacted by this story, and this is how it impacts me, and I'm going to share that in my singing. And even if it's not live and you can't see me moving around, I can still move around when I'm recording it, and that's going to still make a difference. We learn that in voice acting school. If you close your eyes and I look at the lyrics again, and let's, for example, so close your eyes. I'm going to read the lyrics twice. Once, well, actually, you tell me what you think the difference is. So here's the first one. I know something about opening windows and doors. I know how to move quietly, creep across creaky wooden floors. Okay, fine. Now, let's bring a character with a perspective, with a story to tell, with some changes I'm going to make, if you still have your eyes closed, to that, and just see how it sounds different, if it sounds different to you. I know something about opening windows and doors. I know how to move quietly, creep across creaky wooden floors. So I changed my delivery, but I also tried to put some of my body into it. And even if people can't see you and their eyes are closed, or it's just an audio recording, some of that motion and what you bring to it with your energy can come through. So, as always, don't just think about notes and singing and breathing and technique. You might also have a story you want to tell, and a character you are portraying, and the perspective of the character related to the story. So with that, I want to thank you for watching episode 3. I hope you will follow Vocal Coach Debbie on Twitch and YouTube, where I will be doing one of these streams each week and a karaoke stream on Saturdays. If you are interested in voice lessons or you need somebody to sing on your tracks, hey, I've got a studio. Let me know. You can find everything at vocalcoachdebbie.com. Feel free to get in touch. And with that, I will stop the